From the Rainbow Jam Podcast Network studios, it's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List. What? With Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. Oh, I'm hungry today. Baby. I'm hungry today. Woo! KC and the Moneymakers.
They sound good today. They sound crisp.
Saucy baseline. Absolutely.
Hi, everybody. It is great to be back for another episode of the Diss List.
Man.
A very, very important topic today.
A very important podcast.
Yes.
Just in general.
In general.
Yes.
But the topic today is going to be one that I think is going to be divisive. There's no way we could possibly do it justice. There's no way that people aren't going to get upset that their favorite thing didn't make the list, and that's what this program's all about. It's a very simple show, Dan. We bring on a guest every single week to bring a top 10 list of their choosing. They get to pick whatever it is that they're passionate about, that they would maybe consider themselves experts in, and then at the end of it, Dan, we get to make some changes. We can flip a couple, we can replace a couple, and our guest has to decide which list is defining the perfect list. And today is a good day because we're skipping the appetizers.
Yeah, we are.
We're skipping the main course.
Salads,
and
get out
we're
of
going
here.
straight for dessert.
That's right. Yeah, we are.
Which was the topic that was picked by today's guest.
Oh, yeah.
The one, the only, Dave White. Dave, welcome
Dave White.
to the Diss List. What a day today is.
Thank you for having me. I need to tell you that your theme song is enchanting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate that.
And that this will not be divisive because I'm right.
I can't wait to see. Now,
I can't imagine there being three more different individuals when it comes to dessert than the three of us.
I imagine that to be true because Dave,
Brain just wants to eat candy all
I just
day.
want to eat candy. I would consider that a dessert, but I'm going to play within the confines of whatever it is
That's
that
right.
you decide. What are the qualifications for dessert? Would candy be okay?
I'm glad you asked because I have written myself a lot of notes on what qualifies as
I
a
love
dessert.
this for us.
From my list, first of all, I need to explain that in this home
Yes.
that I share with my my husband Alonzo Duralde, who is also my tea assistant this morning.
Love that.
I am the cook. I am the baker. I am the person who makes food for friends, and we host dinner parties. And I, with the exception of a few things that he knows to make and likes to make, he's really good at cookies.
Oh, I was about to say, we had some homemade chocolate chip cookies from Alonzo that were phenomenal.
Delicious.
With the exception of that, I'm the guy who makes everything, and everything on my list is a dessert that I have made.
Okay.
Okay,
So-
you've made them all.
Okay.
I have excluded desserts that are so unusual that you wouldn't be able to make it at home without professional training or assistance. And when I say this, I'm thinking about a very special dessert that I've had twice now at a Los Angeles restaurant called Osteria Mozza. It was rosemary olive oil cakes with olive oil gelato and rosemary candy brittle.
Let's go.
I have
Right
heard
now.
I have heard about the rise of olive oil cakes. It's apparently quite the thing these days. That's the fancy
It's great.
restaurants are doing and calling desserts.
That dessert sounds amazing, but I'm also
It is.
glad you made this a rule because it could have easily been,
Yeah.
you know more
Fancy,
about food and movies than pretty much
What
everything
about-
than us. So it
what
could have
about
been
like
out of hand.
a baked Alaska or something? That you got to do the
Well, it's funny
blowtorch.
that you bring that up because in that excluded dessert that's complicated, I've included baked Alaska. I've included floating island, which is such an old-timey thing that most people don't even know what it is. I have also excluded breakfast pastries
Oh,
Yeah.
or little treats that you might have with coffee, like macaron or petit four or like a mini tartlet or banana bread or other kind of tea cakes, loaves, or cookies.
So this is pure dessert. You can't really do this any other time but dessert.
I have also excluded holiday desserts like a bouche or a mince pie or a steamed Christmas pudding. None of those things are on my list.
Fair. I love all of these rules. I think we're getting really down to the stuff. These are the desserts, the staples, the things that people love after a nice meal around the kitchen table.
I'm going to try my best to stay within the confines of your rules.
What rule do you have a problem with there? The Christmas dessert?
The Christmas dessert.
You have a problem
with
with
not Christmas, Brand, it's June. It's not Christmas.
What are you going to do?
So we're not talking about Christmas today.
The Little Debbie
you
Christmas
do a whole
trees
dish list of just Christmas desserts.
Brand's going to bring a bunch of chain boxes. He's going to put Little Debbie Christmas trees on the list.
Right.
He's just going to put it's going to be bad. He's going to put
I am going to do the
Christmas
best that I can, okay? I'm just not going to make any promises. Okay, I'm excited about this. I would not consider myself a dessert expert. I'm not somebody who often craves a dessert. The person will come up and say, do you want to see the dessert menu? And I will be like, I could do without it tonight. I don't need a dessert, but I know dessert is important and I know people love dessert and that is why you are here. Let's start with number 10, Dave. Number 10, desserts, according to Dave White.
Well, I grew up with the poor people. And so in the summertime, you don't want to turn on the oven. So you make an icebox cake.
An icebox cake.
And the best icebox cake is made with 3 ingredients: Ritz crackers, grape jelly, and Cool Whip.
What?
And you layer them, and you put it in the fridge for a few hours, and it turns into a solid mass of salty, grapey, sweet, Cool Whippy deliciousness. Now, I'm an adult, and I hate Cool Whip now, and I use real whipped cream, which just makes it so much better.
Right.
But at least once a summer, this is an icebox cake that I will serve not just to me and Alonzo, but to my friends as dessert. And they all go, "What is this?"
Yes.
And I say, well, if you had looked at a Ladies' Home Journal from 1968, you would have seen this in there, and your grandma probably would have made this for you.
Now,
and that's number 10.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this, because I'm not familiar with this, but I am looking at the picture that was provided by our graphics department, our wonderful graphics department. They do a great job here. Yep. And what it looks like to me is that the icing, so to speak, is it grape jelly and you mix it in there with the whipped cream to create the fluffiness?
You can do that. Or you could just have the layer of Cool Whip on top and the grape jelly soaking into the Ritz crackers as the layers of your little cake.
Now, are the Ritz crackers, the way that you make it, are they still full circles, or do you crumble?
Still full circles.
Okay.
You don't crumble them up.
They soften up some with that stuff on
They
them.
do, because they're soaking up grape jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is wild.
I've never heard of this, and I could not be more captivated by this dessert.
Oh, Brand, you're gonna love it.
I don't have any trips currently planned to LA.
Yeah.
But after this, we're booking. We're going out there, and I am requesting the icebox cake.
Yeah,
of
I'll make one for you.
I will try it, but no one's selling me with 3 just ingredients out of like a Cool Whip, grape jelly, Ritz crackers.
There's no cooking.
That's not a made dessert. I don't think. I think that's just I don't really know what to do with this. This is weird.
I'll tell you what you do with it. You eat it, and you say yum yum, and you say thank you.
That's right.
The thing
I'll try it.
The thing I'm in on here is the salty and sweet. The salty and sweet is one of my favorite combinations.
Yeah.
Like there's few things better. You've made this for me many times, and by made it I mean you combined the 2 things. Going to the theater with you is an experience, and you will take those peanut M&Ms and you will put them in there, and you
in the popcorn,
and you do just a great job. You do a great job of mixing them, and it is the perfect ratio. That's one of my favorite treats. And so this seems like it kind of be in that same ballpark, that salty, sweet battle in my mouth. I love it.
It's beautiful. It's real trashy, but it's good.
I will say this, Dave. I am concerned that we're at number 10 and I'm already at a dessert that I've never heard of.
Well, that was the thing is when he said, I took out all these fancy things, I was like, all right, I'm going to have heard of all of these. And he's like, number 10, icebox cake. I'm like, whoa, what is that? I don't know what that is.
But I'm intrigued. So far I'm in. I don't hate it. All right, number 9. Let's move on.
Jell-O.
Jell-O.
and any kind of flavor, but specifically in a Jell-O mold, like a ring. Now, we do not put marshmallows or little canned mandarin oranges in it. We don't float things in the Jell-O. We just have a nice red ring of Jell-O, and there's a reason why they give this to you when you're sick, because it's so comforting and so lovely. And again, it requires no effort at all. Alonso Duralde, in addition to being the cookie man in this house, loves to make a Jell-O ring. And we have a vintage Tupperware Jell-O mold that he will every summer, he will be like, it's time to make a Jell-O mold. And I'm like, yes, I'm very happy that you were going to do this. Because it's delightful. My favorite Jell-O flavor is green. And
green is the flavor.
And then red. I like green and I like red.
You're tuned into the Diss List, Dave White's 10 favorite kids desserts here on.
Now, Dave, I would potentially push back on this being per your rules. I feel like you could Jell-O anytime. Could you not?
What are you talking about?
Like, you've made these rules.
He said he took away little treats. Like, you would not be like, I'm getting a coffee. I'm going to get myself a little treat. Can I have a scone and a Jell-O mold?
So this is not a Jell-O pudding pop.
No.
This is not just the thing you pop it open. This is specifically to the mold.
Can I tell you what might save this? I can tell you what might save this for me. One, you didn't explain the rules at the beginning of this episode. We can get rid of 2 of these each.
Yes.
And then we got to pitch it to Dave. He's got to choose a list.
I did say it.
You did say that? My bad.
It's okay. It's okay.
What might save this?
I barely listen to myself
What
either.
might save this on this list is, one, I get the feeling with the first 2 there's going to be some more I disagree with. But 2, I'm 100% with you, Dave, on the no marshmallows, no chunks of fruit. Stop ruining Jell-O. Stop it. We don't need all that stuff. Jell-O's Jell-O. I mean, come on.
Referring back to the 1968 Ladies' Home Journal magazine, you will see in one of those old-timey women's magazines that people were putting tuna fish in their Jell-O molds. People were putting vegetables in their Jell-O molds.
Oh no!
You're gonna barf right now. You might.
That is
back in the 1950s and 60s, a gelatin entree with meats and vegetables inside it. And this is not sweetened gelatin.
I don't want to.
This is not like a cherry Jell-O with tuna fish in it. This is like they would just gelatinize other foods. Obviously, if you were going to have the sweetened flavored Jell-O, that would have sweetened stuff inside it, like the marshmallows and the little oranges. I don't like any of that. I like pure red or green Jell-O.
So how much for you to eat a full Branzino gelatinized?
I don't want to talk about I got to be honest, Dave, I'm struggling with this one. I do not like the texture of Jell-O in my mouth. I do not enjoy that texture one bit. The flavor may be fine, but it is a very tough texture for me. And
I understand.
I'm a texture boy, so
textural issues are quite real with lots of people.
I like Jell-O a lot. I just need it to be ice cold. I want Jell-O to be really cold.
Okay.
Well, it better be ice cold or it's not Jell-O anymore.
It's a big deal to me. It's got to be not cold. Ice. I want it as cold as possible.
You're just shrinking it if it's not cold.
All right.
So the first 3 desserts, my number 10, my number 9, my number 8, are 0 to minimal effort.
Okay. All right.
Right. And that is why they're at the bottom of the list. Fair. Because even though you would give them to friends or family after a meal and say, look, here's dessert, and everyone would say, hooray, it's dessert, you're practically doing nothing.
Okay.
So that is why number 8 is any kind of ice cream.
Whoa.
That's a big gun. I got
ice cream's a big gun.
Oh, man.
In a bowl, in a cone, on a stick, in an ice cream sandwich, in a banana split, in a sundae, you name it, whatever you want, ice cream of any kind. I will say this, ice cream is probably the most eaten dessert in our home. If like casually friends are coming over, like 1 or 2, they'll be like, what's for dessert? And I'll be like, we have 3 pints of Ben & Jerry's in the fridge, and we have a spoon for everybody, and we're just going to pass that tub around, and that's dessert.
What are
Like,
the
it's
flavors?
that-
What are the go-to Ben & Jerry's flavors?
my favorite Ben & Jerry's flavor is chocolate fudge brownie.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
But I also love the one that's got the Heath bars in it. I forget the name of it. The toffee crunch.
Yeah.
I like that. But my favorite brand of ice cream is one that's very regional. It's Southern California based. It's called McConnell's, and they are like, okay, so Barbara Streisand lives in Malibu, right?
Right.
And she gets James Brolin to drive her up to the flagship McConnell's in Santa Barbara, which is a good 90-minute drive, so she can have a flavor that they only sell at the store.
Wow.
Oh, that's true.
That's how good McConnell's is.
That is good.
Wow. That's big time there.
I am not shocked to see ice cream on this list. I am shocked to
ice
see it
cream.
at 8.
You want to tell the world what you told me about ice cream that I gave you a hard time about?
It could be any number of things. What is
That
it?
you don't really like to eat ice cream out?
I don't like to eat ice cream out. I am weird, and
What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I know. I like to eat.
No. I'm asking, what's wrong with you? What's the story?
Dave, this is a program where we try to keep it a tight 60.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I can't. I like to scoop my own ice cream, and I like to smother it and drown it in sprinkles. I'm a simple boy, and that is what I want. And so I always have a hard time with how little sprinkle the folks at the fine establishments put onto my ice cream.
I
And
understand.
so I like to do it at my own house, at my own leisure. And
You want
so,
the sprinkles right next to the bowl on the table so that when you run out of sprinkles, you can put more on.
That's exactly right, Dave. You are speaking my
understand
love
that.
language.
I understand that.
I just can't believe that ice cream is way down here at number 8. It is.
Well,
it's
I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
Like I said, the bottom 3 require no effort.
I just think that's where I would
Furthermore,
disagree
my
with you.
original list had about 30 different things on it, and I had to narrow it down. And so the other 20 that are not on this list, I love them just as much. They're all my children, but they are not here today because you're only letting me have 10.
Okay, so it's our fault.
I had to pick my gustatory winners.
Yeah, it's our fault. That's
So
fine.
my thing is the little no effort thing I just disagree with. Ice cream can be a real art, like a real high art. You can home make ice cream. I'm not a big eat out of a canister ice cream guy. Like Ben & Jerry's is pretty good, but like if you went and got me just like Publix brand ice cream, I'm passing. Like I don't even eat it. It's not really my thing.
You can pass over the fence to your
That's right,
brand.
with all the Sprinkies.
That's right.
But like for me, like a homemade ice cream or like a really great ice cream, like you're talking about McConnell's, I don't think that's little to no effort. I think that's big time effort. I think that's like, this is for me is higher. I think this is higher for me.
Well, all right.
All right, there you have it.
We're already just disagreeing.
Yeah.
Let's get
all.
to number 7. Number 7, we are going into another tier, if I'm understanding you correctly. What is this next tier that we're heading into?
Number 7 is sticky toffee pudding. Have either of you ever had that?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
I have.
I've passed on multiple occasions.
It is a small, sponge cake. It is often made with very finely chopped dates inside of it. And it is covered with a toffee glaze made from brown sugar. It is autumnal, and it is the most like a Christmas flavored thing than anything else on this list, although it is not specifically a Christmas identified dessert. And it is glorious. That sticky toffee glaze soaking into the cake, you will not want to stop eating it.
I had one at a real fancy restaurant in Greenville here, and
you want to give it a shout out?
I believe it was Maestro's.
Shout out Maestro's.
But I could be wrong. I didn't order it. Somebody else ordered it, and I tried it, and I was like, oh my goodness, because toffee can go either way for me. Like I'm not always in on it. It was delightful. It was really, really good, really rich. I enjoyed it immensely.
And not hard to make.
Really? There you have it. You're a big dates and toffee guy, right?
No, I
Get into the dates, Bran.
I don't want.
Dates are so delicious.
I got married so I don't have to go on any dates. Listen, I don't want chunks of things in.
That's what's so great about this. They aren't chunks. They are so finely diced that they just sort of infuse themselves into the cake.
All right,
You're not hitting chunks. You're not hitting walnuts. You're not hitting anything. It's pure pleasure.
My grandma made something called prune cake, which everybody else calls spice cake, and it was made with prunes. I never liked prunes as a kid. That cake was delicious. It was really good.
Okay, I will admit I have always been too scared to try the sticky toffee pudding. For a lot, it's 3 words.
We fly out to LA. Dave makes us an icebox cake and a sticky toffee pudding.
This is going to turn into a longer trip, and I'm fine with that. I will promise you that I will try it in your presence.
Okay.
That I love you so much that
I'll make anything on this list. I will make for you.
Okay, I love that.
You want all 10 of them? You got all 10 of them.
Yeah, that's gonna be
all 10.
Let's make a.
You're gonna be like Augustus Gloop.
Yes, I am. Okay, all right. Number 6.
Victoria sponge.
Okay.
Either one of you ever had a Victoria sponge?
I've met her.
Layered, right?
It's Victoria sponge.
This is cake. All right.
Yeah.
But it's prettier and
It is.
British. It is a very light vanilla sponge cake at 2 layers, and in the middle of those 2 layers are strawberries, and then on top is whipped cream. So you've got some people put the berries and the whipped cream together between the layers and then pour on top. You can do whatever you want, but then you can powder sugar all over it.
Yeah,
it's very summery and really wonderful.
My mom would make a strawberry trifle, which this is very similar to. But
Very similar, yeah.
A yellow cake layered.
Constructed.
Yes, exactly. Same kind of deal. It's delicious. I mean, you can't go wrong here. It's just, sometimes cooked fruit stuff doesn't work for me. This always works for me. This is like a no-brainer. Yeah. This is a really you're like you said, it's probably not as hard as some others to make. I don't know.
No, it's actually, if you can make a layer cake and just the layers, you don't have to think about the frosting. If you can do that, you can do this.
I like this. This makes me happy.
You got one, buddy.
Well, no, this makes me feel good. It's good. It's nice to look at. It's nice to put in my mouth. It's nice. It's a nice experience all the way around. I can't get upset about Victoria sponge, and I won't. I won't get mad about it. I will hold my anger or my frustration or my scared feels for some of the other desserts that are already on this list, and I will be down at the Victoria sponge table going to town. We've done 10 through 6, Dan. I think we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. We're going to get to 5 through 1 on Dave White's top 10 dessert list here on the Diss List. Diss List with Brandon Dan. Yes, sit on down, everybody. We are back, and we're talking about desserts. Dano, remind the people, 10 through 6, Dave White's desserts list. What do we got?
We have 10, the old icebox cake.
The old icebox cake.
Ritz crackers and the grape jelly and the Cool Whip. Number 9, we got Jell-O. Don't put any fruit or chunks of anything else in there for that matter. Number 8, ice cream. You pick it. You scoop it. You eat it.
Any and all.
Number 7, sticky toffee pudding. And number 6, the Victoria sponge cake. So some good options there,
Some
Brandon.
good options. I like what we've got going on here. I'm excited, intrigued, scared about 5 through 1. And that's what makes this show wonderful. Dave White, we're back with you. Number 5, take it away.
Tastes so good, makes a grown man cry. Sweet cherry pie.
Oh, sweet cherry pie. Yeah.
All pies could really fit into this category, but my very favorite is cherry pie. I will never turn down a cherry pie. I will turn down, let me say this differently. Okay. I won't turn down like a pecan pie or a chess pie, but they're less interesting to me than a fruit-filled pie, and cherries are the best pie ingredient. That picture you have chosen,
yes,
for the graphic is nearly identical to the kind of cherry pie that I make. I go for the lattice crust.
Yeah.
I will take that time to make that lattice work crust because my friends deserve it and I deserve it.
Do you do a homemade crust?
Oh yeah, of course.
Come on.
Sorry, that was
Come
a stupid
on.
question.
What a dumb
It was
question.
stupid. It was stupid.
You can buy the Pillsbury
Right.
rolled up crust. It's fine. But if you make a homemade crust, it's going to just be so much better, so much butterier. It's going to be a lot more rustic looking for sure because you're hand making this thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, a homemade crust is easy.
Yeah.
It's not hard to do.
Dave, I want to ask you, you said that this could be any pie. And so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that we're not going to see any other pies 4 through 1. And so I would like to give you this
We are
opportunity to, if I'm coming over for Thanksgiving, big pie day, let's say you could get to pick 3 pies. What's the 3 pies you're bringing to Thanksgiving dinner?
Thanksgiving
Yeah.
is definitely going to be
Pumpkin pie.
pumpkin or sweet potato, depending on my mood.
Sure.
And they're both so close to each other that I feel very comfortable switching them out with people. If they're like, "Did you make a pumpkin pie?" I'll say, "No, I made a sweet potato pie," and they'll be like, "What's that?" And I'll say, "Shut up and eat that, and you're going to like it." Again, Thanksgiving, it's going to be a cherry
Sure.
pie, and then it's either going to be an apple pie
Right.
or a pecan pie. Even though a pecan pie is not my favorite, I will eat a pecan pie. But at Thanksgiving, people really want a pecan pie often, and so I'm thinking of my guests. But if it's going to be me, if I'm going to have 3 pieces of pie on Thanksgiving Day, it's going to be sweet potato, cherry, and apple.
So I'm newer to the pie game.
You're newer to the
So I went about 30 years of my life being afraid of pie.
We should have got a different host for this episode.
Why were you afraid of pie?
I don't know why.
Stop
I'm
asking why are you the way you are, because it's a tough one for Brand.
A harder exterior shell with mush in the middle. That's how I perceived pie to be.
What pie hurt you is really the question.
I wasn't brave enough to let one.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't try it.
I didn't try.
Yeah.
My gateway pie was a chocolate dream pie.
Yeah.
And I said, okay,
That's a good choice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I can get down with this. And I've begun in my later years, my mid-30s, to try different pies when the opportunity strikes. And I've become a bit of a pie fan. And so I think pie needs to be on this list.
Brand's an alien.
I don't.
Just here.
I don't
trying
care.
these American things.
I don't care so much about the pie. I'm happy pie is on the list, and I'm happy that I can be honest and vulnerable with friends and not get ridiculed.
So
You were pie phobic, but now you're a pie guy.
You're a pie guy.
Never stop growing.
Never stop growing.
Never stop
that's
growing.
true.
Never stop learning. Okay.
On the other hand, have lived a normal life and do occasionally partake in pie. I know, call me crazy. I will say that my preference for pie seems to be almost the antithesis of Dave White's pie order. So it's probably because of where I grew up. You know, a lot of vegetables and fruit were cooked to death.
Sure.
So they were just the one food as an adult, I've grown to like most every type of food that I've tried. Southern cooking is the one that I have the biggest trouble with because growing up, it was like, those aren't green beans. They're just salt mush or, you know what I mean? And fruit pies to me growing up, you would occasionally taste a great one and you would be like, where's this been my whole life? But most of the time you would taste them and it was just not a quality situation. And so
because they're making it with that canned fruit.
That's exactly.
Filling.
They're making it with canned fruit filling.
It's goo.
Yeah. And it's disgusting. Yeah. And so fruit pie is never my choice. Pumpkin pie, you bet. Pecan pie, you bet. Chocolate pie, absolutely. There's a lot of great pies out there. I don't know if I've ever had a cherry pie that I've loved. So maybe I need to try a homemade cherry pie. Maybe I need to do that.
I guess that's what I have to make for you guys.
Man,
too.
look at this. Add it to the list.
You know what really did it for me was when I realized that pie is just Pop-Tart but big.
Yeah. I'm glad you got there, buddy. Pie is
so-
just Pop-Tart, but big.
And so when I came to that conclusion, when I did the research and I figured it out, I said, well, I love Pop-Tarts.
Yes.
Let's go to number 4.
That's your new T-shirt. Pie is Pop-Tart, but big.
Here you go.
Pie is Pop-Tart,
There you
but
go.
Good. Good
Number 4. What do we got? Are we entering a new tier or what?
We're entering my all-timers.
Oh, all-timers.
We're having
Rarefied
all-
air here.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's Club. Here we go.
All right, so there's a woman that I need to evangelize about. Her name is Maida Heater. She's no longer with us.
Rest in peace.
She was the queen of cakes, and she published cookbooks about cakes. And I found a bundt cake recipe in one of her cake cookbooks, and it's a lemon bundt cake. Now, I like
Okay.
any kind of bundt. I like any kind of bundt cake.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Alonso Duralde will corroborate this, that I will just eat a lemon. Like, cut a lemon in half into quarters, and I will just eat what's inside that lemon. Lemon, everything. Lemon for everywhere. Lemon on stuff that maybe shouldn't even have lemon. Lemon, lemon, lemon. So here is a lemon bundt cake that is so glorious that you sort of, when it's warm out of the oven, you just make a regular old bundt cake, but you have like lemon zest in the batter to infuse it with that lemon flavor.
Okay.
When it's warm, you sort of like gently sort of fork holes all around it, and then you make a glaze of lemon juice and sugar that you've made the sugar dissolve in the lemon juice, and then you brush it all over that cake so that it is soaking down into the cake. It is
Show's rated R now. It's crazy.
It is lemon heaven for people who like lemon, and I love lemon. And so this is my very favorite. This is a very idiosyncratic choice, I know, because most people are fine with lemon, or they don't like it, or they think, oh, lemon's okay, I like lemon, but they might not be their first choice. It's my first choice. So that's,
Fascinating.
lemon bundt. You don't even need like a frosting over this. You just got that
Sure.
lemon juicy, sugary glaze that's soaking down into it.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I got to be honest. I like lemon. What you just said. I like lemon. I don't think it does for me what it does for you as much, but I would not turn this down ever. This sounds delicious. Now, I don't know if it's necessarily a dessert that I would seek out, but it would be one that if I saw it on the menu, I would look at it and I would go, huh, that sounds delightful. And depending on the day, I would give it a go. And so I'm not upset this is on the list. 4 too high? I don't know. I will have to give it a lot of thought, but I'm happy it's on the list. And what the what you painted, the word picture that you
I mean, that's not fair.
was beautiful. It was an art, and so I'm in on this.
I used to eat lemons as a kid, loved them. I'm not a huge lemon dessert guy because it usually tastes kind of fake to me. I've never had a lemon dessert. I've just always, my experience with lemon desserts are really low floor, really low ceiling. Like even the good ones, I'm just like, this is fine. What you described sounds like a 10 of 10. When I hear lemon bundt cake, I'm passing. Like that's not going to be my choice ever, which makes this really difficult because the sell was fantastic. But in my experience, I can't imagine having a lemon flavored anything on this list. But look, I once again put it on the list to try. Man, at 4, we're getting into some rarefied air here for lemon desserts.
But this is his all time. He would put lemon bundt cake as an old timer.
Wow.
It is for me. And because also I have a very strong memory associated with it now during COVID lockdown. Alonzo and I live on a 2nd floor apartment with a balcony. And I would make this lemon bundt cake. And we have this 5-gallon LA Dodgers plastic bucket that was attached to a rope, and I would lower it down to the ground for friends who would come over, and I would make them this lemon bundt cake.
That's fantastic.
And it'd be like, happy birthday, here's your cake. I've lowered it in a bucket from the balcony. And people would go take it home and they'd be like, oh my God, this is Thank you.
Yeah.
And so it made me feel good to be able to do that and knowing that I was sharing my favorite bun cake with friends.
It's
I
the
love
it's
it.
the bucket bun cake. Everybody knows it. We love it. Okay, all right. We're at 3. This is 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
This is big time. Number 3, Dave White's. Take it away.
Pineapple upside down cake. We're going back to that 1968 Ladies Home Journal cookbook here. This is a retro king of a recipe. There are many updated versions of this. You can put like polenta and cardamom and ginger and stuff, and the good preserved cherries in the middle of the pineapple ring. Not those hot pink, neon red maraschinos. I'm talking about like the Luxardo cherries that are expensive that people put in cocktails that you have to go to the booze part of the store to buy. Like you want as the great ingredients and the good Dole ring pineapple. It had been decades since I had eaten this. It was something I had as a child. And then recently I saw one and I thought, I haven't had one of these in a really long time. And I want this right now. So I made it. And all of that Proustian stuff came back to me from childhood. And I thought, why have I not been making this the whole time? But so now I'm making it again. It's
all the time.
gorgeous. It looks good. It looks fun. It's a fun looking thing.
It does look fun. There's no doubt about it.
So beautiful.
Well, it's upside down. It's upside down.
Yeah. You can't possibly be down with an upside down.
I hate this. Pineapple is one of my least favorite things in the world.
Really?
What? I hate the way that it tastes.
Dude, a good pineapple is phenomenal.
I hate the way it tastes. Was it you? No. Somebody was telling me about this weird thing they saw on TikTok about how to cut a pineapple and you slap it and then I was intrigued by whatever he was talking about. I don't like this and I don't
put
want
pineapple spears on my Blackstone with cinnamon and sugar and brown.
I feel sad for you, Brad.
I feel sad for me every day, Dave. Welcome to the club. I don't want this. Once again, when we come to LA, I will eat one that you make, but that will probably be.
I don't want to do that to you.
No, I will though.
You don't like pineapple. You shouldn't listen. If there's an ingredient in any of these recipes that you hate, don't eat it. You don't like it, so you don't eat it. Just avoid this for the rest of your life. You're gonna have a wonderful life, Bran, and it will not involve pineapple upside down cake.
Thank you. You just a fresh pineapple, like when we were we were in Central America together. A fresh pineapple. You don't think that's good?
I don't like it at all.
Oh my gosh,
I don't like it at all.
Man. So good. It's so good.
I'm a constant disappointment to all who know me.
At least you said it. This is such a niche dessert. I don't know if I'm ever seeking a pineapple upside down cake. There is no denying that it looks unique and super cool and that there's something to it. I got to be honest. I may have had one once or twice in my life. Also, very fruit heavy here so far in this dish list. I would have been way more decadent heavy, I think, in my in my list, and so maybe I'm just starting to just the haymakers of another fruit dessert. I just saw this and my heart kind of was like, I don't want another one. But I like it more than the lemon bundt cake. But the way you described the lemon bundt cake, maybe, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a loss. I got a lot to think about. A lot to think about.
And we still got 2 left.
Oh.
Let's get to number 2. Number 2, desserts. What do you got?
This is the ugliest of the bunch.
Okay.
This is the uggo of the top 10, right?
Okay.
Warm, very warm, not hot, because you don't want to scald your mouth. Very warm peach cobbler with a scoop of vanilla ice cream on top.
Yeah, good answer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good answer.
Yeah.
It isn't cute, but it'll do you right.
Crust is very important here on this cobbler.
Yes.
Fresh peaches, South Carolina peach season. We're about to hit it in July. Like I eat 5 to 6 peaches a week in July because we got freestone peaches. We're buying them at the market. We're bringing them home. Fresh peaches, a great crust, and a vanilla bean ice cream. It's not too sweet. It is about perfect.
Yeah, it is
about perfect. I can only eat this about 2 months a year, but this is it's hard to mess with this one. That's hard to argue with what you're talking about here, especially if you live in a state that does peaches really well. You know, I think that makes a huge difference. But yeah, I mean, the crust is a big deal and the peaches are a big deal. But absolutely,
yeah. I'm more of like an apple crisp fella, like an apple cobbler, if you will.
Nice.
But the principle here is the same. You've got this sugary sweet fruit with the ice cream on it, and it's warm and it's melting, and it's just an experience. I like this pick. I'm happy the cobbler made it. It made it to number 2.
I didn't even eat a peach cobbler until I was 14 years old, because that is when we moved to the South.
Sure.
And it had never been served to me when we lived in the Northeast. And when I ate it for the first time, I thought, well, maybe living down here isn't so bad after all.
Maybe there's a silver lining.
That's right. Yeah. There we go. Okay. All right. We've got a lot here, but we're missing out on one of them, and I'm excited to see what you put here.
Go.
Number 1, what do you got?
Yellow cake with chocolate frosting, and I mean a buttery yellow cake with a chocolate fudgy ice cream.
Now
chocolate fudgy icing. This is the go-to every day. Somebody comes over to your house, you want to serve them a treat. This is perfect for all occasions, birthdays, whatever. That balance of buttery yellow cake and the chocolate frosting. My mom used to make these with the Jiffy mix and the Betty Crocker mix, you know, when I was a little kid. I make them from scratch. I will tell you the recipe. It is from Nancy Silverton. It is in her cookbook, The Cookie That Changed My Life. It's not specifically a cookie cookbook. It is the most perfect iteration of this cake that I've ever made. And but I honestly, I also love the old Jiffy Betty Crocker ones that my mom made, the kind they used to serve us in the little square in the school lunch when I was a kid. There is a friend of ours is a comedian. His name's Guy Branum. And he said, a yellow cake with chocolate frosting is what you have in your house to signify to guests that you have a nice life. And I was like, he's absolutely correct. There is nothing better than this.
Bran?
I just think that I'm looking at the list here, and
he finally brought chocolate out at number 1.
You brought chocolate out at number 1, and it is just like your standard cake. Like, of all, you got your fancies, you got your stuff here, you got vanilla cake, chocolate frosting. The cake that you think
it's
of.
Not vanilla cake.
It is not.
It's yellow cake.
Sure.
It's a butter cake.
That's right.
A vanilla cake has a distinct vanilla flavor.
Okay.
This has vanilla extract in it, but the flavor is more buttery.
It's yellow.
It's
yellow.
It's yellow.
If I'm picking a cake, like if I'm having cake for my birthday, it's chocolate with chocolate, because I'd hate for there to be too many flavors. But
ice cream, that icing better not have any cream cheese in it, or he's out.
I am out on the cream cheese, but it's neither here nor there.
Right.
I will eat this cake, and I will love this cake. Cake. So since this is not gonna, I want to shout out my mom, whose like famous dessert is pound cake, which pound cake a much heavier cake than the yellow cake. Yellow cake's light, but mom would make pound cake from scratch. She'd get all of her ingredients out and let them sit out for 24 hours. She'd start the cake cold in the oven, turn the oven on after she put the cake. Like she does it right. And that cake's amazing. It's like the thing I think of when I think of just a great pure cake. But as far as making something great that's generic, we talked about low floor, low ceiling. The yellow cake with chocolate frosting is high floor, high ceiling. Even a bad one of these, it's like pizza. You know, even a bad one of these still hits. And so I don't mind this. I think if we're going for appealing to the masses and something that you can get your hands on, you're not asking for some crazy highfalutin dessert.
You could do a lot worse than this. And I'm just so happy to see chocolate, Dave. I felt like with desserts, it was implied chocolate was going to be on the list. And after the first 9, I was thinking maybe I missed the memo and we canceled chocolate. But it's
I love
here.
chocolate.
It's here. We made it at number 1.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that.
My brain is just circling right now. I'm just thinking through the changes that I want to make to this.
So many.
And so we're going to take a break. We're going to consider what we can do and what we should do. And then we'll come back and we will give our list here on the Diss List. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Right.
Welcome back to the Diss List. We're counting down the top 10 desserts. Our guest, Dave White, brought his list. It is a doozy. We're going to make some changes here in a second, but to remind you at home, this is Dave's list. We've got the Icebox Cake of Ritz at 10, your Jell-O mold at 9, no chunks, ice cream, any variety at 8, sticky toffee pudding at 7, the Victoria sponge at 6, She's My Cherry Pie at 5, lemon bundt cake at 4, and whatever the specific one that he talked through in particular. The pineapple upside down cake at 3, your peach cobbler at 2, and then your classic yellow cake chocolate frosting. Gotta make some changes, and some changes I did make, and I am ready to present to you my list. Now, I understand your rules, and I knew immediately I was going to ignore them. Because, Dave, you know me. You know my love of Christmas, and you know my love of Christmas does not begin or end at the holiday season.
Oh, believe me, I married the gay atheist version of you, so... I walked in here the other day and he's playing Frosty the Snowman on his laptop, and I was like, I will kill him.
I love him so much.
And I just turned it down.
It's June, Alonzo. Give it a rest.
He does not give it a rest. I know Brand doesn't give it a rest.
Don't give it a rest.
No.
So I hear what you're saying about cookies and whatnot, but to me, there is no greater joy in my life than to end the nights with a plate full of Christmas sugar cookies in a shape of some sort of Christmas thing, and with a lot of icing on top of it. And to be honest, I don't want your fancy icing job. I want it to be a glob of wonderful icing, and I want to shovel it into my mouth, and I want to regret my decision afterwards because I ate too many. And so I hear your rules and I say, no, thank you, sir. Give me Christmas cookies. And so I'm adding that to the list. I'm also adding brownies to the list.
Brownies are great.
Brownies to the list.
They're in my top 20.
Brand added 2 items to the list and 4 ingredients. It was unbelievable.
100%. There are few things that I want more than a brownie. I love a brownie. It is another one that I like warm with ice cream as well, similar to the cobbler.
Switch out the cobbler, put a warm brownie in there.
It is wonderful. So here is what I am going to do, Dave. I've made some changes. One, I'm adding the Christmas cookies, and I am getting rid of the pineapple upside down cake. To do that, I'm moving the pineapple upside down cake to 8, putting ice cream to 3, and then replacing the upside down cake with Christmas cookies. You're welcome. And then I am going to get rid of the sticky toffee pudding because it scares me. And I am adding brownies to number 7. The rest of my other change here is I'm just very intrigued by the icebox cake. You explained it, and I could taste it in my mouth.
What a weird flip.
And so I've moved it to 9, and because I could only get rid of 2, I'm going to leave Jell-O mold on it, but I'm moving it down to 10 so I can try to act like it's not on the list because I don't really want any part of it. So here's what I have. I got Jell-O mold at 10, icebox cake at 9, Christmas sugar cookies at 8, brownies at 7, Victoria sponge at 6, cherry pie at 5, lemon bundt cake at 4, ice cream, any variety at 3, peach cobbler 2, yellow cake chocolate frosting at number 1. Those are my changes. Your early thoughts here, Dave. What are your thoughts here?
I mean, you did break my rule of no seasonal
I did.
seasonal desserts. I respect the brownie inclusion.
Sure.
Like I said, it was in my top 20. But I did chop. My these 10 are, as I said earlier, they're things that I make
Sure.
for people.
Yeah.
I make everything from scratch. I'm not the shortcut person. I don't buy this stuff. I don't make it from a box. I don't buy it at the store. Like, I am making this stuff.
Sure.
And so to me, that makes it special. Okay, I'm not making the ice cream, but I'm serving the ice cream.
Yeah.
And that always makes it special to me. And so, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was in my top 20, top 30 that just didn't make the list. So yeah, I respect the inclusion of brownies.
And if it makes you
Christmas
feel
Sugar
cookies.
cookies, it's fine. It's whatever.
if it makes you feel better, you could switch out Christmas sugar cookie for like a really good warm chocolate chip cookie if you would
Sure.
like
That's
to.
a huge
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah.
But I just want cookie on the list, and I don't
Yeah.
appreciate you not having it. And so I
I
put.
didn't put any cookies on my
I
list.
know, and it was a
because
part of your thing, but I
intentionally excluded them. Yeah.
I felt like you said no seasonal treats, knowing that I would break it. It felt like it was just you said it and you knew what you were doing.
I knew the haunted house I was walking into.
Yeah.
And
You,
so that was,
You ever eaten too many cookies, Brain?
We don't need to get into it. Okay. All right, Dano.
Okay, so I get the feeling with mine. You might have the similar, like you respect one, the other you're like, I don't know. The two I'm gonna add cheesecake. That is the first one I'm going to add.
Yep.
I obviously like a classic New York style cheesecake. When it's done right, is simple and delightful and perfect. I am partial to a cinnamon roll cheesecake. I think it's my favorite dessert on the planet is a cinnamon roll cheesecake.
Wow.
Now that does require a lot of work to make, so I can see how maybe there would be some like you can't just throw this together real quick.
Where's your favorite?
Hall's Chop House cinnamon roll cheesecake.
Okay.
It's seasonal, so you can't even get it year round there.
Wow.
Phenomenal.
That sounds really wonderful.
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
Every time they have it, I'm like, I've got to get out there somehow. It's phenomenal. Yeah. And so my wife makes homemade cinnamon rolls, and that's breakfast. That's special treat. We can't have that on there, but cinnamon roll cheesecake is top of the list for me. That would be one of one. And then the second one I'm going to include is chocolate pie. I grew up with chocolate pie.
That's my gateway pie.
I think, I've heard. I think it can be easily just a one-off. My grandma used to make, literally, she would combine vanilla and chocolate Jell-O pudding in a pre-made bought pie crust, and it slapped. But you can get a chocolate peanut butter pie, which is like crazy good, like so good. And peanut butter's not really on this list anywhere. I'm a big chocolate cinnamon combo guy or a big chocolate peanut butter combo guy. Yeah, sure. And so a chocolate peanut butter pie and a cinnamon roll cheesecake, I think those are the two that need to be on the list. Right. I only made one flip because I had a hard time figuring out where I would flip things that I had to keep. The flip I made was ice cream and pineapple upside down cake. I felt like
right. So we both moved ice cream.
We both moved ice cream,
which
to
is
3.
where it should be, Dave.
I mean, it's
sure.
But as long as we're talking good ice cream, ice cream should be up there.
Publix ice cream with sprinkles. Yes, we're talking.
And so what's probably going to lose it for me is I took out the bundt cake and the cherry pie, and the reason I did that is the sticky toffee pudding is different, and I'd not thought about that in a long time. I want to try the ice box cake. Jell-O is so universal. For me, a cherry pie for chocolate pie makes sense. Pie's still represented, and we got fruit all over the map up here, so I'm not worried about that. And then the bundt cake out was because I just don't prefer lemon desserts. And so those are my two switches. That cinnamon roll cheesecake, the graphics guy got, looks fantastic, by the way. So yeah, that's what I did. Threw some chocolate, threw some cinnamon in there to try to get some more decadence on the list.
Okay. All right. Well, you have a choice to make at this point, Dave, and I don't want to try to sway you, but I haven't won in a long time. So here, reminder, my list. You can watch this show on YouTube, and you can see all the
Christmas cookies. Dave.
I did, and this might be part of my problem is I refuse to play by the rules, or try. But this is my list. This is Dan's list. Different lists, different editions. Some similarities. We both have ice cream at 3, so clearly that's not really going to sway your decision one way or the other.
Right.
But you've got your work cut out for you. Tell us which way you're leaning and why.
Well, Brand, failure builds character. I'm picking Dan's list.
You don't like pie, Brand. What'd you think was going to happen?
I didn't touch pie. And I've grown to enjoy it.
Oh, my God. Is that 5 in a row?
I don't know. I'm not keeping tabs.
Because I've never eaten a cinnamon roll cheesecake, which means there's something new and exciting in my future.
Yeah, right.
And I like a chocolate pie. It's just that it's not my go-to pie.
Fair.
So like I said earlier, I'll eat a pecan pie and be happy. I'll eat a chocolate pie and be happy. Have y'all ever had Hostess pudding pies? I don't know that they make them anymore.
I've not.
But you know the Hostess fruit pies that you used to be able to get, like the store-bought little.
I don't know those either.
Oh wow, okay. Well, so Hostess and Dolly Madison, before they were the same thing, they would make these little hand pies. You could buy them in a store, and they were filled with apple or that had like chocolate pie filling inside, and they were so good. I bet they're still available at like truck stops somewhere, like you're on a road trip and that's what you're going to get. So yeah, no, it is you broke one of my first rules about seasonal desserts.
Yes, you're welcome.
So for that, you are in prison,
but
dessert prison, prison forever.
Dave,
I'm sending you a picture of a cinnamon roll cheesecake.
And my top 10 choices were strictly method. They were method based, right? So those last 3 weren't like, oh, I like these the least of the 10. They were these are the easiest to present to people. You know what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
For me, I'm thinking in terms of a cook and what requires my time and effort.
Do you want to tell the people what your husband has been making every month?
Cookies. He's been making cookies because he spends the month of December running around trying to sell a book, and he winds up not having the time to make Christmas cookies of all sorts of, not just those sugar cookies that you have on your list, but all kinds of cookies. And so every few weeks this year, he's been in the kitchen on a Saturday afternoon using his one day off to make cookies. And, I've been the beneficiary of that.
And so just to be clear here, you are picking Dan over your wonderful husband.
I am.
Right is right.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I just want to make it as clear as possible.
Yeah. I'm choosing Dan's list over any cookie that could be on the list, including including these wonderful molasses spice cookies that he made a few weeks ago that were just
those are good.
I left out all the dark sweetness out of this list, but like molasses, anything dark and sweet made with that kind of ingredient, you've won me. There's a tea cake that Prue Leith made on the Great British Bake Off once that is so darkly sweet that when I've served it to friends, they've all said, no.
Wow.
No, this is not for me. Wow. This is for you. This is for you and you alone, Dave White. And so I didn't dare put it on the list because I knew it would like bother people if they went out of their way to bake it.
Yeah.
It's like infused with black tea and prunes and you name it, like barley malt syrup that you have to order from the internet in addition to the molasses. This is old timey, like it's the war and we don't have things, that kind of stuff. But that's like, it's the goth of desserts.
Yes, the goth of desserts. Dave, this was wonderful. You are wonderful. For the folks at home that maybe this is their first Dave White experience, how can they get more of you in their lives?
Well, you should be listening to Linoleum Knife, a cinema podcast that I host with my fellow film critic and husband, Alonzo Duralde.
And fellow cookie lover.
You can find me across all the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, not Twitter. I am at D. Leland White. Leland is my beautiful middle name. So the way you separate yourself from the 37 million other Dave Whites that live in the United States, is you use your unique middle name. So I'm
Leland.
D. Leland White across the board there. So that's where you can find me. And yeah,
I love it.
that's-
I
yeah.
love it. Thank you, Dave. This was wonderful. Until next time, keep dissing those lists, everybody. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List with Brandon Dan. It's the Diss List.